Hey everybody, I'm waiting a minute here for everybody to get into the room if anybody shows up. Kind of a small channel, don't really expect too many people to show up. Hopefully somebody does. But today we are going to talk all about drone news and what's in the news today for drones. And I'm sorry if I don't keep looking at the camera, but I'm looking at everything else just to see if there's any comments or whatever. Today's news we're going to talk about a tiny selfie drone out of the USA Today. We're going to talk about the long-lasting drones that the military is working on or contracted and working on. Part 107 updates that I heard from Remote Pilot 101 website. And the second Drone Advisory Committee meeting is today in Reno. So those are my topics to talk about. And I'd like to welcome you to my little live show. This is kind of a test to see if it's something I want to do and something you guys want to see. We shall see how it goes. Feel free. Oh, look, noise outside. Feel free to use the live chat to ask questions or comment on anything going on, participate in the story, and let me know what's going on. So first, let's talk about this little, what's it called here? Let's go back over to here. This little tiny selfie drone from USA Today. There's a link in the description below that will take you to the article that I'm talking about. So this little selfie drone, it's about that big. I couldn't get any pictures of it because I couldn't download any. I don't know why. I couldn't get to the right site. Whatever, I hope if someone does get there, they can find a link and they'll look it up. Anyway, so this little selfie drone I think you've probably seen them before. This thing is a Kickstarter right now, and again, it's very small. It's smaller than a cell phone, and basically you fly it out of your hand. You go up, take your picture, your video, or whatever, and then boom, you're done. You bring it back into your hand, and this is becoming. I think this is going to become a trend. My question is, do you think that this will? I don't know. Will that be useful? All I can think of is, let's say you're in a bar or a park or wherever, and there's a lot of people around. It's very easy to steal that, in my opinion. It would be very easy to just grab it out of the sky if it's not too high and run with it. Or it's just going to get annoying because everybody's going to have a little selfie drone, just like the selfie sticks, and then they're going to start to get banned. That's what my thoughts are. I think that these are going to get banned. And you tell me, what do you think? Do you think that they have a place in the market? Do you think, I know people are going to buy them. This one costs like $260, I think. It's right around that range. And that's kind of a high price point, but it's not overly high. People are going to buy it. But do you think that people are going to buy that and that they won't get banned? I mean, I think they're going to get banned in a lot of places, just like selfie sticks, because nobody wants those. I mean, they're annoying. Everybody likes to have a selfie, but nobody likes to have the selfie stick in the way and get hit in the head with it. So that's my opinion on that. Let me know if you have a thought or whatever in the comments or in the little chat. I'm testing the chat. This is kind of a test run too, to see if I like doing this or whatever. And I just again want to welcome you back to the drone news. See, look at that neat little graphics. See, I made graphics and everything. You guys gotta watch. It's cool stuff. That's me saying it. So my next, oops, that was the wrong button. The next thing I want to talk about is something I saw, the long-lasting drones. Basically, the military is finding some contractors to build a drone that they want to last a week in the air. They want it to be able to fly for a week. Right now, I think the top is 36 hours or 52 hours, one of those two. That's a long time, but they want to basically, it takes off from a central location, flies several hundred miles, stays over and hovers over that area, watching, keeping an eye on things, and going on for a week, and then basically flies back. Or it can even fly to another location if needed, and go fly and hover over that and see what's going on over there. So that's what they want. Now, I would love to have a drone that could fly for a week. Wouldn't you guys? I'm sure there's many, many, many droners that would love to have a drone that could fly for a week, because I know that would just be freaking awesome. The thing is how are they going to do it? Right now, they're finding contractors to actually make them. Like, the Grumman is one of the companies that are doing it, and then whoever else wants to do it, Boeing, I'm sure will get their name in there. So right now they've done one that is a diesel one, and they had it refueled and all that, but it did have to come down because of weather problems, so they didn't actually go for too long, or it wasn't up for a week or whatever. Some other ones are solar powered. Now my bet is that the solar powered ones are going to win, because that's going to be a really good deal. If they're flying around again for a week and they're in a reasonably sunny area and they can charge a battery while it's flying around and then keep doing that and use the sun also for the electricity, I think that's a better bet. Or maybe some kind of hybrid of the two, a little diesel generator of sorts, just kind of like your Prius, except Prius isn't diesel, but kind of like a Prius where it generates electricity with fuel and it also has solar and does that. Again, I would still love to have a drone that would fly for a week. And if anybody wants to get me one of those, please do. I'm sure, again, there's many, many other people. Again, I got the chat open over there, and let me know what you guys think, what's going on. I see I have a couple people watching. Awesome. I got some more news coming up here. What's my next story? Oh, yeah, the Part 107 updates. Some of you guys may have heard about this. The 107 has a couple new updates going on. Let me pull up my notes here so I can get this right, because I took notes. I really did. Yeah, it's going to make getting waivers easier right now, because apparently getting a waiver is really hard because the paperwork's not right or whatever, and people just aren't doing anything properly because the FAA is pretty picky on how things get done. So they're not giving out a whole lot of waivers. And what they're going to do, I believe, is they're going to make it somewhat electronic and a little bit easier and to do that. And then another one of the biggest updates that I saw, and this again is from Remote Pilot, and there's links in the description to all these stories. His is a video. So anyway, the biggest thing is being able to gain airspace rights via the internet. Basically, you say you got to go fly somewhere specific, and boom, I got to go get airspace access. You do it all online. It gives you a yes or no answer within a couple of minutes. You print out the permit. If you get a yes, of course, you print it out and take it with you as part of your paperwork. That is something I am personally looking forward to, because then that will really bring it to the point of, oh, hey, yes, I can fly here because here's my permit, instead of, hopefully nobody comes over and gets you in trouble. So I'm really excited about that. The FAA rules. In fact, that brings us to our fourth bit of news today, which is the second drone. Let's see if I can get these words out right. You try to do a live show. The second Drone Advisory Committee meeting is today in Reno, and they're creating 3 task forces. Again, I'm having trouble speaking suddenly. And one of these does have to do with this previous story, I believe. I think, if I read the words right. So the first task group is to review all the issues on all the different laws on the federal, local, state levels about drones and how they are going to regulate and enforce those different laws. And as you can see in the description, I have that straight. This is straight from the FAA website. That is something that that has to be done, because they've got to figure out how to enforce these drone laws, because drone sales are increasing a lot. A lot of people are buying drones, and they're for hobbies. Some of them are doing it like us for commercial purposes, and they need to be able to regulate that so people don't go nuts, because that is happening. In fact, I read another article while doing research for this that out in California, I believe, there was actually a drone flying near a rescue helicopter. So the rescue helicopter had to bail out of their rescue and then contact local authorities to get that drone pilot and get him out of there. He was hindering a rescue operation from someone who fell off a cliff. Anyway, let's continue on with the rest of it. So the second task group that the FAA wants to create is a group to consider different mechanisms however you want to do that, like, through the internet or whatever, to allow drone operators to gain access to airspace beyond what is allowed now, which is kind of what the previous story is about. So basically, they're looking at using the internet to give permits, faster permitting to be able to fly in certain locations, which again, I am really looking forward to that. I hope if you guys are fellow drone pilots, which I'm assuming you guys are, yeah, I bet you guys are kind of excited about that too. Now, the third task group is to consider ways to fund the expanded provision of services needed to support the UAS integration. Basically, they need to get more money because they have to integrate that all with the rest of the FAA stuff that they take care of and all the other airspace. And that takes money and manpower and equipment and whatever. So they're basically putting a task group together. This is how I'm reading it. If I'm wrong, let me know. Leave something in the comments. Leave something in the chat, and I would love to know what your opinion is if I'm reading this in a wrong. Boy, these live shows, I forgot. I've only done a handful of these, and they're a little unnerving. So anyway, that's kind of what I read it as, is basically they need to make sure they got to create a way to make money so that they can properly support all of the systems they need to do the UASs. So that's all. That's my drone news for today. And boy, everybody's just watching this one. I got a whole one viewer, but that's okay. I didn't expect a lot. I don't have a huge channel. And I hope that everybody has a wonderful day. Wow, this was a short one. And next time, I might be doing this a little bit more often, maybe with different topics. If you would like to see something else, any kind of live show, I don't mind doing these. They're kind of fun, except I'd like to see a little bit more participation. Leave a comment if you are watching this video a little late, and I would love to talk to you about whatever in the news. And I'd also like to hear from you about any ideas on live streams, because maybe I'll do one a week. You have a great day, and I'm looking for the button to stop here. So fly safe, and bye.